Mike Pence, who lied constantly, he was honest about one thing at the very least. He said at one point, Senator Harris, you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts, a line that is used way too often. It's not nearly as clever as it was 50 years ago when it was first used, but you yourself said on multiple occasions when you were running for president that you would ban fracking, which is actually true. Back when she was running the primary, she said there's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. The issue is though, as sort of a gotcha, okay, she was in favor of it. She's not running for president, Joe Biden is, and Joe Biden doesn't want to ban fracking. So look, I want him to. I think she's wrong now. I think he's always been wrong about this. But it's a weird thing to try to say that because the VP once believed it. And I will say one other thing about this. Insofar as a person running for president and their VP pick disagree on something, we have this weird thing where the VP has to pretend that they don't disagree and in fact never did. When it seems like maybe you could turn a few of the people who naturally look at American politicians and say, you're all a bunch of greaseballs and I hate you and I hate this entire thing. Just say this, I disagree with Joe and I might try to push him in the direction of my views, but he's the guy in charge, so he's gonna decide. Why not be honest about the fact that you disagree? Why not be honest for once in your political lives? But they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that.
This is one of the things that drives me crazy when watching these debates, and I understand that there are time constraints to be considered, but it's so easy just to say as much as what you just said, John, right? And I don't know why they don't just do that. I think right now cancel culture is a big deal in our country, so I think people are afraid of being canceled, saying the wrong thing, but I never really subscribed to the idea that whatever you say is not, you can't change your mind later, especially when you're presented with new information, right? And then to your point, it's important that she says that she was against fracking and that Joe Biden is not, but maybe I can help move him in one direction. Because that's why we have a diverse ticket, right? That's why you put her on the ticket. That's why the rest of us wanted her on the ticket, whoever actually wanted her there, But that's what needs to happen. I don't think that people are beholden to what they said, a few months ago, a few years ago. I think that if they have a change of heart, they can explain that to the people, explain why, explain what they learned, what new information came about because of it. And then, go from there. That's how it's supposed to go. It doesn't always, but it's supposed to.
Exactly, and I just wanted to say one thing. I mentioned this on our coverage last night. There are a couple of potential explanations for why the Democrats want to be very clear. We're never going to ban fracking. We're never going to talk about it. It's never going to happen. One explanation is that it's politically bad for them to say that they're going to ban it. But I want to make clear that based on the polling that's available, that is by no means a settled thing. We had one poll that showed nearly 46% of respondents said they'd back restrictions to prohibit fracking. Of that figure, 32% said they strongly favored a ban on fracking. A full 1/3 of people responding strongly favored a ban. Just over 33% opposed banning fracking. 22% said they strongly opposed it. So you have not only more people saying ban it than don't, but more people strongly want it banned than strongly want it not banned. And there was a January 2020 poll specifically in Pennsylvania, one of the places where hypothetically, they might be really sensitive about it. 48% were in favor of a ban, 39% opposed. And look, we have to acknowledge, do you feel like there has been a multi-year campaign to get people all jazzed about banning fracking? I don't think so. And yet already the American people lean towards banning the practice. What if someone was actually making the case? Those numbers would be even further in the opposite, in that direction. So if it is political fear of some sort of strike back against the candidate who pushes it, there just isn't strong evidence that that would actually materialize.
Yeah, so one of the big pushes to keep fracking is all the jobs that would be lost because of it. But the thing is, the government subsidizes fracking and oil drilling and things like that. They're paying people for the use of their land, so people are making money off of it. The trade-off is, obviously, these are bad jobs. They're hurting the environment, they're hurting the planet, they're hurting us as individuals. And the trade-off just isn't there. And I think the majority of the American people understand that these environmental concerns are not anything to scoff at, especially not at this point in the history of the planet, really. This is a really pressing issue that needs to be addressed. At the very least, right now, we need really a lot more stringent regulation on the industry, and then hopefully a push towards cleaner energy. But as you mentioned earlier, whether or not that happens is yet to be seen.
We'll see. I mean, hopefully Biden gets in. Hopefully Biden can be pushed on it.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.